Hello, Hannah Cassavetti. You are a neighbour of ours here at K2K. It's great to meet you. And we just came across one another via email. So welcome, and tell me, why did you contact K2K and what is it you are doing?
Well, thank you for having me already. It's been very exciting. So I basically got in touch because I'm running a charity night at the Tricycle Cinema, actually at the Tricycle Theatre, on the Wednesday, May the 7th. And it's a night called Silver Screen Heroes, which is a Q&A as well, which is a double bill showing of two fantastic documentaries with an opportunity to chat to one of the directors. And it's all about raising awareness and funds for this charity called Independent Age, which deals with giving support, advice and befriending for over 65-year-olds and empowering them to live a life as fully as they can.
And when we spoke earlier today on the phone, I think you said this charity, Independent Age, has been around a very long time.
Yeah, it's been around for 150 years, actually. It's based in West London, but it works nationally. And as I say, they very much work on the basis of this ABC policy, which is advice, befriending and campaigning on behalf of older generations. And it's a charity that really speaks to me because it's all about retaining independence as you grow older and never losing touch with the fact that you need your confidence at every part of your life. And as soon as that goes, everything follows. And that's something very important to me because I have a fantastic relationship with my grandmother, who's 97 this year, and she still lives independently. She still cooks for herself. Luckily, she stopped driving a couple of years ago, which is good for everyone. But I feel very lucky because I have this relationship with her where I really kind of understand how she feels on a day-to-day basis, and I know how important her independence is. And the fact that she still does make her own decisions and she doesn't feel backed into a corner. And that's very much retained the passions that she has, the kind of woman she's always been, and has always been a phenomenal role model for me. So this night is very much about introducing new role models to people, or maybe alternative role models, so that they can really look forward to getting older rather than just seeing the negatives.
And also, I feel that as a society, we're very quick to forget the older generation. And I think I mentioned to you that I went to an intergenerational tea party as part of an event at the Queen Mary University in Mile End last year. And it was fantastic because there were toddlers and there were 85-year-olds. And the group that put it on taught us all how to dance. And then, gentlemen aged 75 plus were asking me to dance. I was going, you don't want to dance with me, I'm terrible. But they led me, and it was a great opportunity to bring people together. And I don't think we do enough in our society to do this sort of thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, actually. I think there is so much to give on both sides by kind of crossing that generation gap. I know, as I say, just talking to my gran, she says the really amazing thing about my relationship with my grandchildren is that they very much teach me the relevance of the world today. So it kind of breaks down that wall of kind of related kind of knowledge, I suppose. And in the same way that we know that talking about kind of the lives of people that have done it all before, they've done it 10 times over, they were us and they've built the world that exists today. That they're just, we're all the same. We just got older along the way, and there's so much to learn from people that have been there and done that. So I couldn't agree more. The more that we kind of try and break down those barriers in our community, the better.
Brilliant. Well, I think we're going to go to a track in a moment and then come back and talk to you about the two films that are part of this event on May 7th at the Tricycle. Silver Screen Heroes is the name of the event. Yes, I know Sue Bourne is one of the directors. I'm going to be interested to hear a bit more about her. But I also want to touch on the fact this is not what you usually do, right? You're not an event coordinator.
No, not at all. I'm a freelance. I work in documentaries, so that's where my passion for documentaries comes from. And I very much believe that it's a great platform to tell some brilliant stories and highlight some amazing people out there. As I kind of had this job change and I'm freelance, so I have a lot more time on my hands, I actually wanted to do something that would make more of a difference. And I'm just thrilled to be part of it all and be working with such a good charity.
Great. Well, we're all about getting involved here at K2K, so let's go to a track and then hear more about Silver Screen Heroes.
This is Kilburn to Cancel Radio.
And the show is called Park and Rise. I'm your host, Gemma Dempsey, and I'm sitting here talking to Hannah Cassavetti about her fantastic event on May 7th at the Tricycle Theatre. It's called Silver Screen Heroes. And there's two events, aren't there, Hannah? Two films that form part of this event. So tell us about the movies.
They're both incredible documentaries. Obviously, I'm a bit biased, but I'm very lucky to have them, and both directors are on board, which is fantastic. The first one is called Fabulous Fashionistas by Sue Bourne, which was a cutting-edge film that came out last year on Channel 4. Sue Bourne herself is a critically acclaimed director and has done some wonderful films in the past. And with this documentary, she looks at 6 women over the age of 75 in this country, and is really looking at the different role models that they have become. It does look at fashion and how their attitude really just transpires in everything around them. But ultimately, it all comes down to what that has meant in them living their lives fully all these years. I mean, you'll meet some incredible women in politics, in fashion. We've got the UK's oldest model is featured in the film, Daphne Selp. Also got in the world of dance, people that live on the breadline. You know, it's not just about exclusive groups of women. It's really opening your eyes to the kind of woman that you could be growing up, and it really does challenge this idea of the little old lady. You know, that concept doesn't exist. It's actually just in the minds of the preconceptions that we have, and it's an amazing film just for really almost looking at yourself as well. You know, if anything you can take out of it is just take from these women's wisdom, their courage, and see what that can actually relate to in yourself.
And old age doesn't mean being dowdy at all.
No, I mean, they seriously make you look at your own wardrobe. So it is fantastic. And Sue Bourne herself, very, very lucky to have her carry out a Q&A session directly after the film. So the film's only 48 minutes, so it's not going to be a long night with 2 long films. They're documentary length. So Fabulous Fashionistas is 48 minutes. We have a 15-minute Q&A with Sue Bourne herself. So any questions you want to ask her yourself, you have the floor. Mm-hmm. And that will be followed by the second film, which is called Ping Pong, which came out in 2012. And that was directed by Hugh Hartford, part of Banyak Films, and it met with phenomenal success. I mean, unfortunately, like a lot of documentary films, they don't stay in the cinemas for long, but that doesn't mean that they're not worthwhile. It's a chance to see this amazing film again. As I say, it's not a really long film again. It's about 78 minutes. So in all, you've got a really well-rounded evening of 2 different types of storytelling. But Ping Pong itself follows 8 contestants in the world champion, the World Veteran Table Tennis Championship. Oh, sorry, got a bit fluff there. And their combined age is over 700. So each of these contestants is over 80 years of age, and they really do teach you a thing or two about what it is to live a life that you want. They all travel out to Inner Mongolia in China for these championships. And the great thing about it as well is that it's not just about the UK. We have 2 fantastic participants from the UK that are focused on. But it also looks at America, at China, at Germany. It's a very cross-cultural way of looking at how old age is perceived. And again, it's one of those ones that you come out just feeling fantastic. It's a really uplifting film. You really root for every character, and you come away just feeling good and just thinking about things in a different way.
And I saw that a couple of years ago, and I thought it was fantastic. It made me cry and it made me laugh, which are the 2 things that I always search for in a film. And I have to say, I very rarely find in narrative films. I find it much more so in documentaries.
Exactly. I mean, if you can get a character across and really reveal how phenomenal these people are, then your documentary is sold. I mean, it's very clever storytelling from the director's point of view, but it also just gives a really well-deserved platform to some people that might get overshadowed in other parts of life. Mm-hmm. And as I say, this evening is all about role models and changing your perceptions of them and really looking at the positives of old age. You know, as you say, just because you grow older doesn't mean that you've any less of the living. You know, you can do all these things. You can still aspire to do incredible things, and just never give up that confidence in yourself. And really, you know, we should be looking at ourselves now and questioning if we're doing that now, because, you know, you've got to take things while they're here. So, and that's what these role models very much kind of tell us to do, is that life is for living. Don't wait for tomorrow. So,
and it's not only about having fun and making the most of your life while you're around to have fun, but it's also a health aspect. I mean, it's been scientifically proven that it helps, put off the onset of early stage dementia if you are active and take up a new skill.
No, very much so. I mean, ping pong is a brilliant example of how sports which use cognitive and coordinative skills will really help against the onset of dementia, and as well as give you new communities, give you kind of constant relatedness to wanting to go out, to be part of things. And it's incredible watching this film. Everyone's got very different stories. You're looking at men, you're looking at women, all different ages, from different countries. They're all taking part for very different reasons, and it doesn't matter what age you are, you will listen to someone's story there and it will hit you and it will touch you, because they are phenomenal people, and they are the people in our community as well. This is just a very small portion of stories that we're listening to in the world, but they're all around us, so it's maybe a chance to realise that these people are around us all the time, and maybe we just need to listen a bit more.
Exactly. So we should just, again, put all the details together. It's Silver Screen Heroes at the Tricycle on May 7th. It's at 8 o'clock in the evening. And how can people get tickets?
Ticketing, you can buy online or over the telephone at the Tricycle box office. All the listings are on their website, which is tricycle.co.uk. Alternatively, you can also purchase from the Independent Age website, which is preferable actually, because for your £15 ticket, which is for 2 films and a Q&A, so an absolute bargain, your full £15 will be going to the charity if you buy your tickets through the charity site. So that is independentage.org/social events, so social-events. But if you look up the independentage.org website, it will point you in the right direction anyway. But as I say, it's £15, 2 films, Q&A, all the money will go to the charity, and you'll have a wonderful night.
Exactly. What a fantastic deal. And if anybody missed any of those links or details, you can email me at getinvolved@k2kradio.com, and I'll pass that on, and I'll be putting that information on our tip sheet so we can spread the word amongst the K2K community, because we want to support our neighbours, and it's such a particularly good event, and I'm particularly interested in this whole area, having had elderly relations, and you just want to think, they've got so much to offer, such great stories, and as you say, we don't often interact. So Hannah, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Thank you for having me.
And I better buy my ticket now.
I know.
All right, we're going to go out with one more tune by Ella Fitzgerald, and you are listening to Park and Rise on K2K.